Now me personally, I used to be an anti-furry, but I still have the same ideas as when I was young. I was shown furry porn at a very young age by a friend of mine. The first time I was exposed, I had a deep sense of hatred for it because that's straight up an animal. The fact that this was normalized by people in itself further made me angry, which is why I speak against it majority of the time. And the fact that the whole group and community is trying to, keep it under the rug, doesn't make it any better. My opinion on furries? Well, majority of them I feel uncomfortable around as they may secretly and most likely will be porn addicts. And for the very, very rare few that are actually good people, I feel bad for them in a sense because they have to deal with their bullshit because of their peers. But in general, I dislike majority furries like around the 90% mark. Do you think furries deserve rights? Well, in a sense, they should have rights just as everybody else, but I believe the bad and weird shit they do shouldn't be normalized. Where did your problem with furries come? My problem came with the porn, as they label it as non-zoophilic because of the human characteristics in their OCs. But I disagree strongly, as they still have more animalistic parts, and you can clearly see animalistic behavior involved in their strange fetishes. They also have many pedophiles in their group too, so we need to keep an eye out for them. What's the best way to turn a furry into an anti-furry? Now, I wouldn't really go on with that, but if I had to reply with a response, the best bets are give out the information and pray to God. But in a sense, I only pray that these furries may turn away from their sinful ways and live a better life with Christ. Why do you think people become furries? It is most likely because they obsessively hate too much on them and intake their content, where it's the thing they see most during the day. And then they neurologically start thinking about it more and more until they decide they want to be a furry. Now, majority of my experiences didn't go well, but my first ever experience was with some crazy dude who had a whole unnecessary meltdown. I used to be in an old Lucid Dreaming Discord server, and then somebody simply got mad at me for sending screenshots of what they were saying. I don't even remember what they said, but I don't remember why they got so butthurt, as I remember all they said was normal and nothing crazy or controversial. What's the worst thing furries do? I think the worst thing furries do is continue their nonsense and still intake porn and all the degeneracy in this world. People nowadays believe their temporary pleasure will cure their depression, but in the end, it just makes things worse and ends up hurting them in the long run. Do you think furry NSFW is illegal? I think it is and should be legalized, as despite the anthro characteristics, the anthros are still animals and it corrupts the viewer's mind. It corrupts it as every time they see an animal, they may sexualize it in their mind, and if they get tempted enough, they might end up abusing the animal. Even if this doesn't happen, lots of articles show that porn damages the brain and people in lots of ways. Do you know any ex-anti-furries and what do they do now? I know a few ex-anti-furries, but one is my friend who I'll refer to as Itikin. He had some bad experiences with furries as he was groomed when he was younger. As of now, he highly dislikes the furry community and has been against it since.